Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Popcorn Wind Down. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
Thank you for joining us. This week's episode is brought to you by Isaac's All-Purpose Insurance. We insure it all: homes, planes, trains, automobiles, and everything in between at a top-notch premium rate. We even insure items that most other insurance companies would not touch. To find out more, reach us at 1-888-ALL-YOU-GOT or isaacsHotItems.com. Tammy, are you going to have Isaac insure any of your property?
Absolutely not. I'm a stick to brands, I know.
She did not mean that. That is a sponsor. You can't be saying that.
Do I get free insurance?
Yes, you get it. You get
Oh, well, of course I will. Why would you ask such a question like that?
Oh gosh, gotta cover. Anyway, before we lose all sponsors, this week we get put on notice as we discuss Netflix's hit movie Red Notice, starring Ryan Reynolds as the world's top art thief, Nolan Booth, Gal Gadot as the Bishop, the woman looking to take his throne, and Dewayne Johnson as John Hartley, the federal agent looking to take them both down, until they are both set up by Bishop and things go a little batshit crazy, forcing Booth and Hartley to become partners in crime, so to speak, as Hartley tries to clear his name and Booth tries to reclaim his throne. So, Tammy, what did you think of Red Notice? Was it a Da Vinci or a cheap knockoff?
It was very, very disappointing. I hated it. Bored out of my mind. It was typecast. Like, it was a typecast movie. So the roles that Gal Gadot plays, the roles that The Rock plays, the roles that Ryan Reynolds plays, it was like they played in this movie. So the typecasting that has been happening in their careers, this was just another movie where they were typecast to play a certain role, and they took the money and played the role. That's it. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was, I didn't hate it as much as you did. I can't disagree with everything you just said, but I wasn't bored by it. I will go back and say I agree with the typecast part. Ryan Reynolds was his typical Ryan Reynolds self. And Dewayne Johnson was Dewayne. He played the straight man, which he does really, really well, but you always see him as the straight man. Gal Gadot, she's not the best actress to me.
She's not.
I know she's Wonder Woman and all of that, and maybe this is superhero blasphemy, but she's not the best actress, which is one of the reasons why I was surprised when she was cast as Wonder Woman, but she does a good job in that role. I love the character, the Bishop. I did not like the actress who played, and I think if the movie had been centered more around her character and her exploits, it probably would have been better. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you mean by typecasting, but I also went in, when I see Ryan Reynolds in a movie, I go in kind of knowing what to expect, especially with Dewayne Johnson. He's going to play the straight man. So I wasn't as disappointed in it as you were. It checked the box. It was typical, yes. But so I did enjoy it a little bit more than you did. Is there anything that you liked about the movie?
No. No, I was not entertained. Ryan Reynolds played Ryan Reynolds. Like, they all played the role, and I look at it as in, you just made $20 million for nothing, for doing nothing, really. And that's a great job to have. Okay, they each got paid $20 million for this movie.
Wow.
I don't even think they had chemistry. I did not even feel the chemistry. I thought that it was very fake. Even between Ryan Reynolds usually can pull chemistry from any of his co-stars. But I felt even the chemistry was being forced in this movie. And so I sat through it. I watched it more than once, and I didn't get any different feelings on watching it the second go round that I did the first go round. Like yeah, it was just a disappointment. Like it was a disappointment. Like I had high hopes for this. I thought that it was going to be better than what it turned out to be. And I'm not gonna lie and say that I would recommend this, because I wouldn't.
So, the chemistry part, it, it was a little off between him and The Rock, because they've been in other movies before and they've had a different chemistry. But do you think that was basically because of the character The Rock was playing, that how he was supposed to have this wall up between them?
No, because it's kind of like with the whole, like Ryan Reynolds was in Hobbs and Shaw, basically played like kind of the same character, and they had chemistry there, and it was very very few scenes that they had, the kind of going back and forth. What is that called? Repertoire? No, that's not repertoire.
It is.
Oh, is it repertoire? Oh, look at me throwing out SAT words with the repertoire and everything like that. But I just didn't feel it this time, and it was a chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. Chemistry between The Rock and Gal Gadot wasn't there. Their characters had no chemistry. Like I was just like, really, we're supposed to believe y'all two are together? Because I don't believe it at all. Like I feel like she's gonna double cross you in the end, because there is no way that she really loves you.
Okay. Well, and see, and I think that maybe I I say the wall that is up. I think I want to say it was partly because of the acting, like his character. Um, like he was supposed to have that wall up, because they were even when the twist is revealed, which we'll get to in a minute, they were on opposite sides. So it was just always this whole, I'm not going to let myself get too close to you, because ultimately you are my mark. So that's what I took from it. Maybe I'm giving The Rock credit for being a better actor than he really is, because again, you're right, he does seem to play the same types of tough guy, straight man characters. Um, so I get that. And again, I love The Rock. I do. I like Rock movies, but let's actually say it again. The Rock is not the best actor either. Although I love what he's done from his career, how he went from the WWE to become one of the biggest movie stars on earth. So shout out to him for doing that. But so did you like the twist? Were you surprised about this? Is going to be the shortest episode ever. Did you like the twist? Were you surprised about the twist?
So I was surprised that it ended up being that The Rock and Gal Gadot's character was actually in it together, because I thought it was the Interpol woman.
Me too. When he
yeah. So I thought it was her who was ultimately her partner. Like you knew she had a partner, but I thought it was the Interpol woman who ended up being her partner. So I like that switcheroo, where in the end you realize that it was The Rock who was her partner. So yeah, I mean, I did not see it coming, because I had a whole different character that was going to ultimately turn out to be her partner.
I did too. I agree with you. I was like, oh, she does have a partner, and I thought it was the Interpol woman, and I was just like, huh. Because especially when they all ended up in South America, I'm like, how did you get there so fast? And how did she just happen to follow you without you? Like, you're supposed to be this badass art thief, and you don't know that this woman is following you. So I was like, that's your partner. But then when the twist came about, I was like, oh, okay, that is not your partner. So I was surprised by that. I will agree with you. Now, as far as going back to the chemistry, she and The Rock, I understood the standoffishness between the first part of the movie, when you did not know, when you really thought they were on opposite sides. But once it was revealed that they were together, there was no change in chemistry. And I agree with you on that. It was like, um, is she gonna double cross you? Like, does she really love you? Because you didn't sense it. And and they did a great job of not giving it away where you never suspected that twist coming. But once it got there, it was like nothing. It didn't really seem like much changed.
Nope.
And so I agree with you. That was kind of disappointing on that end. And so and I was just like, yeah. Um, did you have a favorite scene at least? There's got to be something you liked about this movie.
No.
Nothing at all?
No, Eddie. To be honest, like when I mean when I first heard of this movie coming out, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be good. And then I watched the movie, and the amount of typecasting that has gone into this, like Ryan Reynolds can act. But you would think by the roles that he's been taking lately that he can't act. He can act. Y'all don't believe this nonsense. Like he can act. He can play more than just Deadpool. Like, he can play more than just that character. But I guess safe money is better than no money. I don't know. So he's willing to be typecast, until he no longer is able to make those movies. The Rock is the same thing. He plays the same character. Different name, same character. Gal Gadot, I agree with you on the whole acting bit. Love her as Wonder Woman. Love her as Wonder Woman, but she's not the best actress overall. So yeah, nope. Mm-mm. Like, I mean, the scenes were fake. It was a little predictable in certain ways. Yeah, no, not even a storyline. Like, I felt like the storyline was boring in itself. Like, there was nothing intriguing about the storyline. Like, all you got told that the bishop was the best art thief in the world. You got told that Ryan Reynolds' character was the best or second best art thief in the world. But besides the first scene where you saw him making the egg that he was planning on stealing, like there was nothing of significance. Like, how did they get into your house on the island? Like how did they get into your house on the island? Like, that makes no sense to me. And you didn't notice anything off. There was no feeling. Like, what kind of art thief are you that you didn't even feel like something was off about your own home? And you're an
Yeah.
art thief. You're supposed to know when something is off about the environment that you live in. You poured yourself a whole drink and didn't realize that somebody was in your house looking at
Yeah, because you can tell. Like,
you.
I
Hell,
you would have a top-notch security system. Even living on an
you're an
island,
art
there
thief. And
there are
everything's in the
precautions.
open. It's not like you hide the art that you steal.
Yeah, there would be precautions that you would take. Um, and I guess as we find out more about him, we're supposed to attribute that to his privilege, how he was just a spoiled little rich boy whose daddy didn't love him enough, and that's why he becomes a thief. You know, um, so I can't necessarily say I disagree because even living in my house, you have a sense when something is off in your house or when something doesn't feel right or someone has been there or something is out of place. Like, um, and I agree. And like I said, I would have enjoyed it more if it would have been a little bit more Ocean's 11, maybe. Not a knockoff of Ocean's 11, but if we got to see more of what we were told, you
Yes,
know.
yes. If
Um,
we actually got to steal, we actually got to steal. We actually got to see like the thievery of it all, which we did not get to see. We were just told about it.
yeah, like I said, I would love maybe with a different actress to see a movie about the bishop because she seemed really badass and kind of batshit crazy. you know like when she broke into, where was in Interpol's office and she was talking to that dude and you really thought she was talking to her shrink until you saw that she had this Interpol
Tied
agent
up.
tied up. So I think if it it maybe should have been more singular focused on them trying to catch her, like instead of, if she would have set them up for something or them trying to catch her, um I think it would have been better. Like it just was, it was a little scattershot for my taste as far as the plot goes and what they were actually after. Um, so yeah, if we could have maybe, even like you said, that first scene, it kind of led me to believe it was going to be something different, like more of a caperish movie. Like I loved that first scene and the chase and him stealing the art. Like it, that was so good. But we never really got to see that with her. We got to see her being kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but we didn't ever get to see her. Like we saw her being a mastermind. Like she's an evil genius mastermind. She can plot with the best of them. But did we actually see her doing anything, or her with the rock? And maybe that's what the sequel is going to be about, because you know they set it up for a sequel.
Oh, they're giving them a sequel?
I don't know if it's going to get a sequel, but it has been ranked in the top 10 of Netflix's in the top 10 since it's been released. I know at the box office it didn't do great, but they didn't expect it to. They just it got the box office release, but it's also, but since it's been on Netflix, it's done really, really well. So but do you generally like movies like this?
Yeah, I love Ocean's 11. I even liked Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
I like, you know what kind of feeling like I thought the direction it was kind of going in? The Thomas Crown Affair. You ever seen the Thomas Crown Affair?
Of course, both of them, the original and the remake.
Never seen the original, but I did see the remake. And so that was the remake was at a time where I didn't watch black and whites.
The original's not in black and white.
Oh, my bad. I didn't watch old movies. So
you still don't watch old movies if it's in the 90s.
I love Casablanca.
I am surprised, but
His Girl Friday.
Oh, I am also. We can still be friends for another week or so until you say something else you haven't seen.
We had a conversation about the fact that His Girl Friday is one of my favorite films.
I think it was blocked out by the fact that I was today years old when I found out you've never seen To Kill a Mockingbird.
I saw A Time to Kill.
Okay, well, it was To Kill a Mockingbird,
like a new age version of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, but
anyway, getting off track. But I thought like it was gonna kind of give me the feel of the Thomas Crown Affair, which I really, really loved it when I watched it multiple times. Like I used to watch it all the time, the Thomas Crown Affair, when it came out. And so I thought that was the kind of feeling I was hoping for, and I did not get that. But I do like these types of movies. It's just that lately they haven't been that good.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Like Thomas Crown Affair is a good example, or because you added the buddy flick, maybe Thomas Crown Affair meets Ocean's 11 meets kind of like The Saints. I thought it would be a lot more caper in it than it was, and it wasn't. And I felt like this was a hitman's wife's bodyguard type thing.
Yes,
where
it's a different black dude. Sorry.
Yeah, but it was overcrowded. Like you had too many characters. So I don't know. Maybe see, and that's the thing. It would have been great, the twist with if you're gonna do it, maybe cut out Gal Gadot's character and then just have them showing them how they were stuck together, have the setup come in, or have her more of a secondary character, and then the twist, and then the next part after the twist is about him trying to catch them, because it went from the twist to them being set up in wherever they were, Monte Carlo or whatever, and then it ends, and then he has the Interpol agent steal their money, which no reasonable art thieves are going to have an account that everyone knows about. That was implausible. And if you do, once the money is transferred, you're moving that money around so they can't get to it. Crypto, something, like I've watched enough TV and movies to know that shit. So that was just one of the things that I was like, okay. But yeah, like it was too crowded.
It
And
seemed low budget on the whole idea aspect of it. Like it was a low budget idea that they put forth. And they made it because they had 3 major stars that agreed to star in it. And they were like, okay, cool. Yep, let's make it because it's going to be a hit.
gosh, why are you saying shit I can't necessarily disagree with? As much as I want to, like, you're having a broke clock moment, damn it. Like, as much as I want to disagree with that, I can't. The idea, like, it wasn't completely fleshed out very well. Like in the writer's room, well, the same guy who wrote and directed it, which major props to you. You got your movie made, so I am not hating on that. I understand where you were going. The movie has potential. It just didn't reach its full potential, and it didn't quite live up to the hype. Especially for those stars. But to get them to want to star in a movie is amazing. So, shout out to that on a positive aspect. But it just seemed too crowded. It seemed kind of lazy.
Yes. Very lazy. All around lazy.
Yeah. And so I can't say, and I'm with you, I love these types of movies, and I was really excited. And like I said, the typecasting didn't bother me as much because I kind of knew what I was getting, especially with Ryan Reynolds. When he does comedies, he tends to play more of himself, which is, this is who he is. So he's not acting. That's just him. And then Dewayne Johnson, again, like I said, he always plays, like you said, that straight and arrow type guy. Gal Gadot's acting just kind of ruined the Bishop, although I love the character. And maybe you could have made the movie more about her. I don't know. But yeah, it was not the best. All right. Well, I guess that does it. This is one of the shortest ones in history. So, would you watch a sequel? Would you be interested in a sequel?
Nope. Not at all. Keep it as one and done.
You wouldn't watch it to see if they improved?
Why would I want to watch it to see if they improved if they gave this on the first try? I don't care about improvement. You already lost my viewership. You're fine.
You're a one and done. You don't give second chances.
No, I ain't giving no second chance. You got to prove yourself the first time. That's me wasting my time. Why am I wasting my time hoping that you will improve yourself? No. Not at all.
You've never seen a sequel that was better than the original?
Terminator.
Avengers.
Which Avengers?
All of them after the first one. They got better as they got better as they went along. The first one was kind of blah.
Well, I mean, they got more money as they went along.
But yeah, they got better as they went along. I wouldn't be opposed. Like I said, I didn't hate it as much as you did. So I wouldn't be opposed to a sequel. But if I had to choose a Ryan Reynolds movie to get a sequel, either this one or Six Underground, I'm choosing Six Underground.
Yo, Eddie, I'm so with you on that. Can we get a Six Underground #2? Can I get that, please? I beg of you. Netflix, please. I'm begging you. Can I get a sequel to that movie? Because that was awesome.
You're doing a Woo Assassins. You're doing a Woo Assassins.
Yes. I'm throwing my Woo Assassins plea out. Yes. Like, can I get a Six Underground #2?
Yeah, like I thought about that when I was doing this. I'm like, God, Six Underground. And
awesome.
And that was a great character. Like, he was a badass, and he still had moments where he had that Ryan Reynolds snark or wit.
He wasn't typecast in it.
Yeah, he was like a true badass. Like, I might pull that out again. That movie is so good. So good. And
I don't understand how they haven't been talking about a sequel.
I don't either, because it was good, like so much better. Now, that's the movie I went in thinking this is just going to be a typical Ryan Reynolds. Okay,
you were surprised.
Like, I thought it was going to be more like a Free Guy / mashup where he just fucks shit up, where he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't expecting him to kind of go back to that Safe House era with Denzel, where he's
because I loved him in Safe House. That lets me know that he could actually like act, and he could actually do more than what he was giving us. And then he went back to typecast.
Yeah. So if Netflix, if you're listening, if you're going to greenlight a Ryan Reynolds movie for a sequel, please, please, please let it be Six Underground. Or if you're just determined to do this one for a sequel, because the ending, if you pay attention, the ending was set up for a sequel. It really was.
Yeah.
So if you give us a sequel for this, give us Six Underground to cleanse our palate.
Well, so it'll be cheaper as well. It was better acting. It was a better script. It was a better storyline, a better idea, and cheaper to make, because the only big actor in that whole entire film was Ryan Reynolds. In this film, Red Notice, you had Gal Gadot, 20 million, The Rock, 20 million, Ryan Reynolds, 20 million. That's 60 million. You know how much, what the budget was for this film?
And they shot it overseas.
200 million.
Wow. And almost a third of that went to salary?
Just salary alone. So at least 100 million of that went to salary. Besides the actors, 100 million went to salary.
Well, and you know what? I can honestly say before we wrap this up, it probably is a good thing that this was a pandemic movie, because it wouldn't have done well as a regular box office release.
It would not have. It would have bombed.
It would have tanked. And so Netflix is getting their money back on it. Like I said, it's been in the top 10 ever since it's been released. And it's like been in the high part, the top part of the top 10, not the lower part. So it wouldn't have done, I don't think it would have done well as a traditional theater only release. So yeah, but okay, so yes on a Six Underground, no on a Red Notice.
Yes.
Okay, I'm a maybe on a Red Notice. Like I said, I didn't hate it as much as you did. I found it more enjoyable. It was typical. Is it something that I would?
Would you hear that they're doing a second one? It premieres and feel like you gotta watch it?
No, it wouldn't be something that would be at the high.
It'd be like if you were bored, right? And you just put it on and was just like, let me see how it goes, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't be something that would be at the top of it wouldn't be something that I say, hey, T, this, send you a list of things that we should talk about putting on the calendar. It wouldn't make that. It wouldn't even make an extra butter follow-up.
Ooh.
Like it might get a quick pop or a blurb if we reworked it. Like I don't even know that I could do a quick pop on it. Like really, it might be something. It might classify as a blurb that we throw in general conversation, like when we're talking on the rewind or something. But yeah, like that's how far down on the list it would be. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it did get greenlit for a sequel.
I feel you.
All right, so now that we've got that covered, ratings. What I'm scared. Is it a Mulan?
It's less than a Mulan.
Oh shit!
And you know what? This is horrible. Coming off of my 5 popcorns of last week.
I know we're making history. Last week you went 5 popcorns and you found a movie that is worse than Mulan.
Yeah.
God, what did you give Mulan? 1.25?
No, I gave. Hold on, let me check that. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna rephrase that. It's not less than Mulan. I thought it was, but dang, Mulan is low.
What'd you give it again?
1.5.
Oh shit.
So it's just a bump above Mulan. So for Red Notice, I am going to give it 1.75 popcorns. Not even a full 2. That's not even a kid-sized popcorn. That's let me get that cardboard box, and can you pour some out of your bucket into my cardboard box? And don't even fill it up, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat it all. That's what rating they get.
Damn.
I know, but I gotta keep it real. This is not a movie that I recommend to anybody, like, at all. Like, my cousin asked me, like, "Oh, you seen Red Notice?" Yeah. "Oh, you want to watch?" No, I want to watch that. So yeah, it was abysmal. I'm sorry. It was not entertaining to me at all, and I can't even get a full meal out of it. Daggone it. What did you think, Eddie? What'd you rate it?
Damn. I gave it 2.5.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I gave it 2.5.
See, so your out of your bowl, you can just give me some of your popcorn.
Yeah, it wasn't, like I said, I liked it obviously a little bit more than you did. There were some major plot holes and some things that kind of bothered me, but I took it for what it was. It was lighthearted. There are bits of it that I found funny, and there are things that, of course, obviously, like I said, I found that you had room for improvement on. Great potential. Shout out to the guy getting to direct and write your own movie. It gets to Netflix. I understand what he was trying to do with it. I don't think it quite made it. I think that they sold it based on name recognition alone. It wasn't quite, you go in looking for an Ocean's 11 Thomas Crown Affair type saint type buddy movie type thing. It's not that at all. It's really, it is disappointing for who they have in the movie and how what you think it is going to be. So yeah, but I gave it a 2.5 for potential and room to grow.
That was really, really nice of you, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might be too generous. I might have to go back up.
I'm gonna let you know you were.
At the end of the year, I might do a Mulan. Remember when I went back and said, "God,
you brought it down."
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Let me go. Let's wrap this up before I talk myself out of that.
Can I just do like what's coming up real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So no, I just want to kind of put it out there. We got 2 more movie reviews before we start our end of year wrap up. So I'm really, really excited about that.
The end of year wrap up?
Yes. Our top 10, the Golden Goblets, shit that got us through 2021, our holiday movie, K-pop wrap up. Like, we're gonna do it big this year.
You know what? I am too. I was really, really excited about that. And I should have mentioned this probably on the rewind, but I'm excited about that. And I've been looking and focusing on that and trying to figure out how we're going to set that up. So that's where the focus is, just kind of like wrapping down the end of the year and working on finally revamping the website a little bit more than making small tweaks. I want to do some major things with it. So probably just be focusing on the news, the wind down, the daily wind down, and the other extra stuff is going to be on the back burner till the new year. So and then just restart it in full after the new year. So anyway, this was a perfect place to put it, since obviously we had nothing else to talk about because this movie was sucked. But that does it for this week's episode of the Popcorn Wind Down. Please be sure to listen, like, follow, comment on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and or Spotify Podcasts. You can also keep up to date on the latest in entertainment and pop culture news, as well as other amazing kernels of pop culture goodness at the Popcorn Wind Down. That's it. That's the plug. Thank you as always, and be sure to join us next week when we discuss King Richard, starring Will Smith as Richard Williams, the father of tennis superstars Venus and Serena. I am really, really excited to see what you have to say about King Richard.
I'm excited to see too.
Have you watched it yet?
I have not. So yeah, but I hear good things. So hopefully I have a good review for it.
Yeah, I think even if not, I think we will have a very interesting conversation, and I really can't wait to hear your take on that. So that does it for this episode. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy. Bye.
Peace.